Hello, hello, hello. Welcome back, Well-Being and Worth family. Back on track, kind of, sort of. It is day 28 of the 53 Days of Wise Woman Wisdom. We have officially gotten to the halfway mark. My math is correct. So, what's the topic for today? Well, earlier I posted the late why it ask why, and today is what happened to my mojo. But wait till you see how I put the two together. So let's dive in. So we always talk about this word, I lost my mojo. And got me thinking, what in the world is mojo, right? I was like, well, I don't really know. And then I was shocked. I went and I looked it up like I always do, and it means magic charm or potion or spell. Did you know that? But of course, the slang version we use is all about, we lost our swagger, we lost our optimism, we lost that pep in our step, we lost that, the voodoo that we do so well kind of thing, right? So my question is, when I say the word mojo, it's like, what do you think I'm talking about? I know what I think I'm talking about. Maybe I think we have mojo in various areas of our life, if you ask me. So which one do you think of first? Is it romance? Is it your physical health? Is it your hobbies? Or is it your work? What is it? But whatever it is, I want you to follow along with me today about what happens when you think you've proverbially lost it, right? So let's start from the top. Well, where did it go? I'm going to proffer that it goes away for a couple of reasons. The first one is constant self-talk. If you recall from this morning's chit chat with me, that why, asking why all the time incessantly feeds this crazy loop that drives us crazy, and that constant self-talk, usually not very nice, is rather deprecating. It might be downright mean to ourselves, and of course that will put the first chisel into your mojo in any area of your life. And so what does that sound like? Well, let's see. If it's in romance, you ask a couple people out on a date, they don't go out with you. In your physical well-being, it's you ideate about following a certain eating plan because you're anxious to release a few pounds, and then you eat donuts the next day because you forgot. So that's coupled with my point number 2, which is the lack of low follow through due to the self-talk. And that's the case I just iterated with the whole, the all too common diet situation. So that's 1 and 2. Constant self-talk followed with that low follow through due to the self-talk. And then the number 3 is like just a lack of a clear goal or focus. If we can't ideate on the specific thing, our mind just will go all around and decide to not focus on the thing that you say is important. And then last but not least, believe it or not, it's just feeling alone and isolated and not having someone to support you in your endeavor. And so all of those things will eat away at your mojo in any and maybe all of the areas of life that I just sort of started this conversation with. So that really dings your motivation, which lessens your resilience. Motivation and resilience really have a lot to do with each other. It's hard to bounce back when your motivation has like downshifted, and downshifted. And finally you're back in first gear, you're neutral, trying to get into gear, and you can't. I'm having PTSD moments of teaching my daughter how to drive a manual. So if I keep talking about it, that's why. So, but we all know an object in motion is easier to keep in motion than it is to take an object from a complete stop and get it into motion. I.e., I'm still thinking about this car analogy. Okay, so why am I talking about this? Well, I'm talking about this so one, hopefully you can recognize how it is you may have lost your mojo. And so 2022 is, not far away, 28 days away or something like that, not even anymore. And you're probably starting to think about, I'm going to make 2022 the best year ever. And before you get all hyped and amped, let's come back, collect our thoughts, and make a good plan for that to be true for you. So, because the worst thing is to make all these plans now, get to 2022 without a clear plan, and therefore you can't lift off because you're still in neutral. I was about to say zero gear. Okay, so how do we make it different? For the first part is, well, I wanted to have 3, but now I'm going to have 4. Set the intention for what it is that you want. People say this all the time in so many contexts. I'm sure you're sick of hearing it. But I'm sorry to report, it's inescapable. If it's something you want, you have to be able to see it. You have to be able to say, I'm going for it. So set it. Set it, right? And then just move. Take, I want to say, massive action to get to that thing that you want, but get up and move. Again, remember, an object in motion likes to stay in motion. So it's easy to say this when you relate it to health and wellness, of course. It's easy to say this when you're talking about a car. Maybe it's not as easy when you're talking about work and you're looking for work, but again, really meditate. Think of what this thing is that you really, 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 really want. Because the funny thing about us as humans is when we really, 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 really want something, we really go after it. We figure out a way, which is the next thing. It's like create these, I like to say, stair-stacked goals. People call them all sorts of things, but I want you to create that first achievable goal. And then what's the one that's going to happen after that? And I want you to write them down in a step, like in, sequential order. And then I want you to write them down because there's nothing more satisfying than going and scratching it off your list. I love that. I love when my Post-its get thrown away. I love when I get to scratch things off and put them in the throwaway bin. It feels so good because as I pull all those Post-its off, or however you're going to do it, scratch them off your ping, put a little check mark on your electronic calendar, you will just all of a sudden look up and you will have what it is that you want. So the clear goal, get moving. Write out the steps. And the last bit is get social. Get engaged with somebody. Get an accountability partner and say, hey, I'm doing this. I want you to hold me to account. And if they can't, just the fact that you told another human will help you go, I told so-and-so I was going to do this. Like me. Case in point. I had this brilliant idea to do this 53 days of wise woman wisdom with some women that I really, really respect. And I'm showing up every day despite all kinds of craziness going on in my life without even any makeup. Even when I had the whole issue drama with my animal, I showed up because I wanted to keep my word because I told somebody. So trust and believe, that is a powerful motivator. You get engaged, get social, tell the world, tell somebody, do it with a friend, because when you say, hey buddy, let's do it together, it is so much easier for you to not let your bestie down. It is, believe it or not, we're just wired this way. We will not leave our bestie hanging, but we might leave ourselves hanging with that, that low follow through and that self-talk. So get engaged. Got those 4 points? Set the goal, move towards it. I mean, physically move, maybe do a happy dance. Write the goals down in order, circle them when you're done and scratch them off the list. And then of course, tell somebody about it. So before you know it, you're going to have massive success because you got to check off all the steps of your goal because you made them measurable and specific and doable. And you gave yourself a due-by date. You guys who know me know what I'm talking about. And the best start is once you get on a roll and build up that momentum. It is amazing how you will bring that unconscious mind of yours right along and it will start to help you realize those goals. If you don't believe me, think about what it took for you to maybe potty train your kid or watch them walk. I think watching a kid walk is the most fascinating thing. Try, 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 try. And then they're like, whoa, I did it. Boom. And they go a little further the next time because they fix their mind on something that they want to go get and they go after it. And that can be you too with with our big people goals, right? So my friends, that is it for today. Yes, you can get your mojo back because you got motivated, you took some massive action. And before you know it, that resilience, that swagger, that voodoo that you do that you know so well will all be coming back. And so I hope that's helpful for you going into 2022. I want you guys to know that I am so excited. I'm on day 28. If you like this, what I'm doing, or if you've been following along, please subscribe to my YouTube channel. Please, 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 please. I would like to put my name in the address on YouTube, and I can't until I have 100 subscribers. So please, that would be also well. Share this, spread it wide and large. Ask your friends to please go like it on YouTube. That would be grand and jolly. And so like, comment, all that good stuff. Find me on Facebook, join my Facebook group. I'd love to parlay with you. So with that, I bid you good evening, and believe it or not, I think one day soon I'm going to figure out how to do a live and actually comment on Facebook at the same time. That is my next goal. So hopefully before day 53, I will have figured it out. In the meantime, be awesome. Have a great day, and I will see you guys tomorrow.